What up, man? It's your big brother K Reno. As y'all can see by the title, I'm sure a lot of y'all probably already know where I'm going with this, but I'm gonna go there anyway. For those who might not know, when you think about food poisoning, the first thing that you think about is when you physically eat something and it goes into your body and it doesn't agree with you for whatever reason. It could be you ate something that was old and spoiled and bad. It could be that you ate something that was contaminated or something that you was allergic to, something that just didn't mesh with your physical at the time, and now you're sick. Now you're suffering from it. Now you have discomfort. You're throwing up. You're messed up. Now, the same principle works in terms of poisoning yourself mentally. Mental food that we put into our minds, through our eyes, through our visual. We see things that attract us, and those things that we see that attract us are not necessarily good for us, but we take them in anyway. So we start to consume all of this information into our mental. There's nothing that you physically eating, but your mind is eating it. And so now, by being corrupted, by being contaminated, by being spoiled, now it goes into you. It starts to turn you into something that you naturally are not. So we become addicted to um, controversy and fights and drama and pornography and pictures and videos of worthless, useless, negative material, all these different things that we like to take in, and even just something as simple as just lies, uh, propaganda, slander, slack talk, and all that type of stuff that you see on vlogs and different channels and all that. And we take that stuff in, shock value information, and that is something that becomes a part of us. So now we are mentally poisoned by the mental food that we're taking in, that we're taking in, and we don't make the connection of how the repetitive consumption of that type of information directly affects our actual life, because we start to emulate a lot of the things that we see and listen to and take in, and now we are living our lives according to that type of stuff. And how do I know that's true? I know it's true because I could just listen to the way people talk in their regular conversations. And when you hear the way people talk, it's usually something that is a duplicate of the same type of language that you see used on a lot of these internet platforms by people who push out that negative type of content. So you know what people watch, you know what people are into, just based on how they talk. And so when their lives start to go through the general basic problems that everybody's lives go through, how do they handle it? They start to handle it the same way they see it being handled on a reality show. They start to handle it the same way they see it being discussed on uh, social media platforms. You become that. You are what you eat. You become that. So your struggles in life are perpetuated, whether you want to believe it or not, or whether you know it or not, because you start to assimilate into this fantasy lifestyle, or this false lifestyle, this negative lifestyle that is being glorified on different platforms, and we love to see it. We don't seek to put the car in reverse and back out of the mess and then go in a different direction. We actually get out the car and start browsing around through all of the mess, and that's where we mess up at. Our interests tends to peak, the more raunchy and the more thrown off and negative that something is, the more it tends to pique our interest, and the more we come alive, you know, even in general conversation. So now things that are beneficial to us from a mental standpoint, from even a spiritual standpoint, those things, they don't excite us. Those things are boring to us. Those things kind of just dry us out. We yeah, whatever. But the bad side, oh yeah, we ready. We can't wait. We can't wait. They call it spilling the tea and all this different stuff, man. But you know, it's always fun to spill the tea on somebody else. But when you are the subject matter at the tea party, then you see that it's not so fun. You see that it's not so cool and so great to be the topic of discussion from a negative point of view. And you don't get that until you're walking in that. You don't get that until you're living in that. And celebrities do it all the way down to just regular old people like us, because we always seem to have this thought process that, hey, as long as it ain't me, it's funny. As long as it ain't me, that's good for you if you going through it. As long as it ain't me, I can pass judgment. I can talk down about you and tell and voice my opinion about how messed up you are, you know. And that's because of the intake of the food that's poisoning us, the mental food that's poisoning us, that we allowing to poison us. Propaganda. You know, you got people who so fixated on what was said on these news networks, and they live their life based on the liars that paint the narrative, that put out whatever narrative they want to sway the people in. They put that narrative out, and we live, die, and swear by it. And it's the gospel in our eyes because we saw it on TV. We saw it on the internet, and it becomes the gospel. We start to even practically worship the personalities, worship the news anchors who spit this stuff, because they become personalities. You know, all of these different individuals, man, and none of it is rooted in reality, and none of it is rooted, and very little of it is rooted in truth. So be careful, man, what you take in upstairs, because this part of you is the controller of everything else. So what the body does what the mind directs. The mouth and the mouth speaks what the mind commands it to speak, based on how the mind is shaped and the opinions that are formed. So make sure you do your best to whatever ideologies that you have. Make sure that they are rooted in as much truth and reality as possible, so you won't be around here sick from the mental food poison. All right, man, it's your big brother K Reno. I will catch y'all a little bit later on, man. Yo, catch us in Colorado this weekend, this Friday in Colorado Springs, and this Saturday in Denver, Colorado. South Park Coalition performing live, man. Information to be in, it'll be somewhere on this post. All right, I'll catch y'all later on. Peace.